Charlie is the newest chromatic brawler to release inside of Brawl Stars, and you guys are gonna need this guide in order to play Charlie like a pro. Now for Charlie's main attack, she will actually sling her yo-yo forward and it's gonna damage the first enemy it hits and return back to her. Now a lot of people like to compare Charlie's main attack to like Carl's main attack. Now another fundamental difference between Charlie and Carl is that Charlie's attacks going out cannot go through walls. However, kind of like Carl's attack, when it is returning back to her, it can return through walls. So with this mechanic in mind, what I'll try and recommend for you guys is when you guys are using your main attack and you guys are hiding behind walls, try to peek shoot. Like you're gonna shoot, run behind the wall, and your yo-yo will return back to you so you're safe and sound. Now another thing to keep in mind about Charlie is kind of like Carl. When she's gonna respawn, that one bar of ammo that she has is not gonna be ready to use automatically. However, another interesting fact about Charlie is that when you guys are playing Brawl Ball and you guys need to kick the ball with her, it will actually not use up that one bar of ammo whatsoever. This can come in handy very well if you guys need to have the enemies waste their ammo just to kick the ball, and you guys will have that advantage because you are not going to be wasting any ammo whatsoever. Now for Charlie's super, she's going to go and throw forward a bundle of hair wrapping and wrap the enemy that she hits in a cocoon. Now when Charlie traps enemies inside of this cocoon, they are going to be completely immobilized. Basically when Charlie goes and cocoons an enemy, they're not going to be able to attack, they're not going to be able to move, no gadget, no super, no nothing, okay? And something that's actually really cool about Charlie's cocoon super is that she can actually cocoon multiple enemies at the same time. Now yes, don't worry, even though you do get cocooned, it is going to still decay by 10% for every second, and it can actually stay alive for a maximum of 10 seconds. Now going into Charlie's gadgets, the first one we're going to talk about is her spiders gadget. Upon activation of this gadget, Charlie will immediately spawn 3 spiders that will go ahead and seek out the enemies. Honestly, these spiders are not really too powerful. They have a couple thousand health and they will decay by 10% every second and can survive for a maximum of 10 seconds. Now something that I really like to compare this gadget to is like Eve's super hatchlings. You can go ahead and use this gadget in order to basically scout bushes to find out where the enemies are, or you can even use this gadget to tank shots for you and your teammates. If you guys are playing against like a Stu or a Surge or maybe other long range brawlers, then you can go ahead and use this gadget to tank the shots, and you can go ahead and have the enemies waste ammo onto them and they won't be able to hit you. Now for Charlie's second gadget is going to be called a personal space. What this gadget does, it'll actually cause Charlie to cocoon herself, and when she breaks out of the cocoon, she will heal herself for 50% of her total health. Now obviously when you guys cocoon yourself, you guys won't be able to do anything, just like how you guys would cocoon an enemy. Now the cocoon will decay by 20% for every single second, and it can last a maximum of 5 seconds. Now this is going to be the better gadget for you guys to run, because think about it, if you guys are very low, you guys can go ahead and activate this gadget and you guys can go ahead and protect yourselves, and if the enemies do decide to break you out, you're going to heal for 50% of that missing health. Now this can be very helpful as well to gain control, keep control of the map, and also tank shots for your teammates. You can basically think of you being in that cocoon as like a shield to protect you and your teammates from incoming damage. The only downside with this gadget is you just need to watch out for people that are going to be camping right outside of your cocoon. People are guaranteed going to be waiting for you guys to hatch out of that cocoon, break free, and they're going to be able to get that free kill off of you. Now even though that's going to sound like a huge downside to a lot of people, personal space is still going to be the better gadget for you guys to use with Charlie. Now going into the star powers, the first one we're going to talk about is digestive. What this star power does is when you guys cocoon somebody and they break free, whatever health they had before they were cocooned, they're going to lose 50% of that total health. Now this star power is going to be super broken if you guys can manage to use it against high health brawlers. For example, brawlers like Frankie and El Primo, right as they come out of that cocoon, they're going to lose 50% of their health, which is a lot.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
So this right here is going to be a huge time saver for you and your team, as the cocoon is already going to take away that health for them, and all you guys got to do is just finish them off right as they break out of that cocoon. And of course, Charlie's cocoon is already going to be a very solid counter to counter brawlers that like try to go aggro, try to dash onto you, or even maybe tanks that may be hiding in bushes. So by using this star power, it's going to be able to shut them down even more, because right as they break free, they're going to have less health to try and take you down. Now a bonus tip I have for you guys when using the star power is make sure you and your teammates are keeping eyes on the total health of the enemy's cocoon. So right as they break free, you guys can pounce right on top of them, and you guys can take advantage of that opportunity and kill them immediately. Now the next star power we're going to be talking about for Charlie is her slimy star power. Now when you guys use your super, the cocoon will actually leave a slimy trail that can slow down enemies for 5 seconds. Now I know this may seem kind of underwhelming, but the best part is you actually don't have to connect with your super in order for the slimy trail star power to activate. So you guys can basically just throw it out into the open or just throw it over an objective, and the slimy trail is still going to go ahead and show up on top of the map. Now this is going to be very helpful when you guys need to block off choke points, maybe when playing hot zone, or maybe even blocking off choke points inside a gem grab. Overall, you guys can kind of think of it like Amber's sticky oil mythic gear. The only difference is that with Amber's oil is it's gonna stay there until you light it up, but with Charlie it's only gonna last for 5 seconds. You guys gotta really make sure you're capitalizing whenever people walk on top of that slimy trail. Now, kind of like when you and your teams are camping out on an enemy's cocoon, you guys want to try to camp out on that slimy trail, because if people try to cross over it, it's gonna make it a lot easier for you and your teammates to hit your shots. Overall, the digestive star power is still gonna be the better star power to use for Charlie in general, mostly because it's gonna be more versatile, and inside of this meta it's gonna be better to counter the more stronger brawlers. Slimy can be a good alternative option in case you guys do play maybe hot zone or gem grab. Now, something that's kind of disappointing about Charlie, but I'm still gonna talk about anyway, is her hypercharge. With Charlie's hypercharge, when you guys activate it and use your cocoon, it's gonna spawn 3 spiders immediately. Now, the thing that really sucks about this is you can only have a maximum of 3 spiders active to begin with. So if you guys use the spiders gadget and then you guys go ahead and use your hypercharge, the spiders that spawn from that gadget are gonna go ahead and despawn, because you're gonna be spawning in 3 new spiders from the hypercharge. And realistically, like, the spiders gadget is gonna be pretty useless in most case scenarios, so the hypercharge is gonna be pretty useless as well. The only positive thing about the hypercharge is the stat buffs that comes with it, obviously. She's gonna get a 30% damage boost and a 30% speed boost, along with a 10% shield boost. In my humble opinion, to you guys, to be straight up real with you guys, it's not gonna be worth it for you guys to spend the resources in order to get her hypercharge. I would highly recommend you guys just go ahead and use it on a different brawler that has a better hypercharge, like Lou, for example. Now, something that's very important to keep in mind when playing Charlie in general is to just keep your distance with her, because her health isn't really the greatest. And also, her damage isn't really the greatest as well, so if you guys get close to tanks and assassins, you can pretty much kiss your life goodbye. Also, you guys know how I was comparing Charlie to Carl at the beginning of this video? Kind of the same thing with her main attack. If you guys can bounce it off of walls in case you guys do end up missing people, it's gonna be easier for you guys to get that yo-yo back much faster. So you guys want to really make sure you guys are focusing up, analyzing your opponent's movement patterns, and really trying to hit your shots as much as possible with Charlie. Now, as far as when you guys should be using your super onto the enemies, try to use it on aggro brawlers that may be tanks and assassins, or just basically any brawler in general that you guys see as a huge threat to you and your team. Now, I know this tip is going to sound very weird to a lot of people, but you guys have to protect the enemy that is actually cocooned. The main reason for this is that since the enemies can actually break their own teammates out of the cocoon, you guys are going to want to target down the enemies that are not in that cocoon to make sure they do not break that cocoon. So as weird as it is, you guys need to protect the enemy that is actually stuck in that cocoon, because you want them to be trapped in there as long as possible. And obviously, this just makes the most sense in general. Since the enemies are going to be cocooned and they're going to be immobilized, they can't do anything whatsoever, you just want to be targeting down the other teammates anyway, so that they do not go ahead and like get onto the objective or complete whatever they have to do inside the game. Well, there you guys go, a complete guide on how to play Charlie. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below what your guys' thoughts are on Charlie. Well, anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed that brawler guide, I highly recommend you go check out this brawler guide right here.